Hello. Hopefully you can all hear me. If you can hear me, if you can just let me know in the comments box. Obviously I've got my sound turned off on my end, but just drop an OK in the box if you can. I hope you're all well. I'll give it a minute or so for some others to join. Cool, looks like the sound's good. There's some chat been going on already, so if you've missed it, if you can get some team names coming in as you log in, that'd be great. I think so far we've got Los Angeles Day Drinkers, the Proclaimers, Devonshire Dunces. Any more, let me know. Oh, and Lockdown and Outs from Jordan, which is the best one so far, I think. Cool, looks like we're all in. I'll give it a few minutes for some others to join. I've changed the format this week, so if any of you were on last week, there is a small change. All right, Ollie, good to see you, or hear from you. Hopefully this week you'll be able to see the questions on the screen, which will make life a bit easier for you guys, I think. And I'll take my time as I go through them to give you enough time to read them. Team Washing Machine's back. Good to have you. Jolly Jays. Good to see you, Jason. Don't forget to mention your drink of choice as well. Mine's a G&T. There should be some mojitos already. Easy questions. They are easier questions than last week. I think the way I describe it is they're still challenging, but it is easy. It will be a slightly easier quiz. And there will be a few picture rounds as well to make it a bit more interactive. T&T. What's a T&T? Brewdog. Cool. Pirate radio station from the 21st century. So I'll just give it a minute or so, then I'll start running through the format of this week's quiz. Give you guys a heads up. Amber Ale, Mr. Woodford. A 60-year-old plus drink. What's first prize? First prize is just honour, I suppose. There isn't a prize this week, or there is never a prize, but if you come first, you're doing quite well, I think. Cheating, yes. How are our friends over in Los Angeles? Nice of you to join us again. The Mouse Ratters. Good name, good name. Okay, let's get started. So, same as last week, there are 6 rounds. After round 3, we'll take a break. We'll add up the scores from the first 3 rounds. Toilet break, drink break, whatever you need, and then we'll finish off with rounds 4, 5, and 6, and we'll do a total tally at the end, and then different teams can put in their total scores at the end, and we'll see who says they're first. Again, someone else has asked, as of last week, about cheating. I can't stop anyone cheating, but if you've chosen to join and want to cheat, I don't really see the point, but it's up to you. But the whole point is just to have a bit of fun, test our knowledge, and keep ourselves occupied during lockdown. So before we start, I'll run you through the rounds. First round, as it was last week, is general knowledge. The second round will be Bible knowledge. That's a request from last week. Then there's a picture round. Then there'll be a break. And then the fourth round after the break will be music. There's no sport this week, so some of you might be happy about that. I had to drop a category out. So it's music, history, and then film. No sport. Yep, sorry James. I thought I'd make it a bit fairer on others that don't watch any. I don't think there aren't even any kind of sport related questions either. Next week double sport maybe. People are commenting on the wallpaper. That's going to be rare now, considering Laura Ashley going out of business. Jordan, you've been out of sport for about 20 years, mate. Cool. When you're all ready, if you stick ready in the box, and I'll get going. I might have some offcuts, Ollie, if you want some of the wallpaper. Cool. Oh, nice of you to join us, the Collins. I understand the Woodfords from Scotland are joining us as well. If you're there, then hello, welcome. Just to say as well, reiterate from last week, I'm not sure if he's on, but anything Ryan Hughes puts in the live chat, treat as a lie. I'm talking to Anthony Peck, Joel, Michael Asamoah. Please don't put the answers in the live chat. It kind of ruins the fun for everyone else. And no cheating, obviously. Cool, right, if we're ready, let's get going. Give me 1 minute. Cool. Okay, so, as I said, round one is general knowledge. Let's get started. So, 10 questions in each round, as there was last week. 1 point for each question. And as I said, we'll take a break after round 3, add up the scores from there, and then finish with the last 3 rounds, and then have a total score at the end. Cool, so first question. Hope you've got your pen and papers at the ready. I forgot to mention at the beginning, so if you weren't included last week, you will need a pen and paper to write down your answers. And to make sure you can score them properly. Cool, right. Everyone ready for the first question? Let's go. So question 1, general knowledge. How many sides has a heptadecagon? How many sides has a heptadecagon? So it's a shape. How many sides does it have? How many sides has a heptadecagon? Okay. Question 2. What does the surname Singh mean when translated into English? Esther, please don't put your answers in the live chat, write them down and we'll go through them later. So, what does the surname Singh mean when translated into English? What does the surname Singh mean when translated into English? I'm going to try and give you as much time as possible between the questions because I know some of you said because you have your own Zoom team set up, this will give you a chance to chat through and give an answer. So what does the surname Singh mean when translated into English? Question 3. Who was President of the United States when Queen Elizabeth II was coronated? Who was President of the United States when Queen Elizabeth II was coronated? Who was President of the United States when Queen Elizabeth II was coronated? Question 4. On the same subject of presidents, in which decade was Donald Trump born? In which decade was Donald Trump born? In which decade was Donald Trump born? Cool. So question 5. Which was the first product to be launched by Henry J. Heinz and L. Clarence Noble in 1869? So which was the first product to be launched by Henry J. Heinz and L. Clarence Noble in 1869? Just as a reminder as well, there's about a 7 or 8 second delay on this, so bear that in mind. So which was the first product to be launched by Henry J. Heinz and L. Clarence Noble in 1869? Not much chat going on, so I'm guessing people are concentrating on these questions. Question 5. Which was the first product to be launched by Henry J. Heinz and L. Clarence Noble in 1869? Okay. Question 6. The now abandoned Chernobyl nuclear power plant is within which modern day country? The now abandoned Chernobyl nuclear power plant is within which modern day country? See, I think some of these questions are easier, right? Like I said earlier, easier, but I think still challenging. So question 6, the now abandoned Chernobyl nuclear power plant is within which modern day country? I'm not going to tell your wife to shut up, Jordan. I'll leave that to you. So question 6, the now abandoned Chernobyl nuclear power plant is within which modern day country? So question 7, what is the official currency of China? What is the official currency of China? I've underlined official for a reason. There are two currencies of China, but what is the official currency of China? Question 7. What is the official currency of China? Okay, so question 8. The internal angles of a triangle will always total how many degrees? The internal angles of a triangle will always total how many degrees? So GCSE maths, maybe earlier than that. It's fairly straightforward. Question 8. The internal angles of a triangle will always total how many degrees? If you've not put your team name in the chat, feel free to do so. So question 8, the internal angles of a triangle will always total how many degrees? Martinis, Team Matlock. You've dropped the Glover surname then. Team Matlock. Ollie's Angels. Okay. Some mentioned last week that they struggled with the accessing the live chat. I learnt yesterday that not all devices give you access to the live chat, so I think it does depend on how you're viewing this. But if you're on a laptop or an iPhone or an iPad, you should be fine. The Sherlocks, that's Beth, her mum and dad and her brother. We've got Tim, Alison and Cliff, the Lightning team. Jason and Megan, Team Egg and Pie. Nice. Cool, right, so the penultimate question, question 9, general knowledge. Question 9, from which language does the word futon originate? From which language does the word futon originate? James Woodford has said Virgin has a YouTube channel, which is on channel 199, if you want to watch me on your big screen. So question 9, from which language does the word futon originate? You may be sitting on a futon right now. So that's question 9, from which language does the word futon originate? Okay, so question 10, the last question on general knowledge. For all you drinkers out there. What name is given to a champagne bottle 4 times the size of a standard 750 milliliter bottle? What name is given to a champagne bottle 4 times the size of a standard 750 milliliter bottle? Alright Chantel, I'm going at a reasonable pace for everyone. Shan's telling me to get on with it. Frank Nichols, Team Spanish Male Elites. Okay. So what name is given to a champagne bottle 4 times the size of a standard 750 millilitre bottle? Blame it on Greg. Right, okay, so everyone happy with general knowledge? If anyone's missed a question, let me know. I can recap it. Everyone good? So the next round is Bible knowledge. So it's a subject that was requested last week. So I've done my best to put something together. So, Bible knowledge. Again, 10 questions, 1 point per question. First question in Bible knowledge. Question 1. Towards the end of his life, King David had a nurse and companion to care for him. Described as beautiful in the extreme, what was her name? Towards the end of his life, King David had a nurse and companion to care for him. Described as beautiful in the extreme, what was her name? So question 1. Towards the end of his life, King David had a nurse and companion to care for him. Described as beautiful in the extreme, what was her name? So question 1. Towards the end of his life, King David had a nurse and companion to care for him. Described as beautiful in the extreme, what was her name? Okay, so question 2. What would be the first book of the Bible if they were in alphabetical order? Not numerical order first, purely in alphabetical. So what would be the first book of the Bible if they were placed in alphabetical order? Time for a gin top up. So question 2, what would be the first book of the Bible if they were in alphabetical order? Question 3. The book of Esther is unique because it does not mention which word? The book of Esther is unique because it does not mention which word? Unique in the fact that it's the only book in the Bible that doesn't mention this word. So question 3, the book of Esther is unique because it does not mention which word. So question 3, the book of Esther is unique because it does not mention which word. Okay, so question 4. How many years did Noah live for after the flood? How many years did Noah live for after the flood? How many years did Noah live for after the flood? Question 5. Who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of Jesus' apostles? Who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of Jesus' apostles? Who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of Jesus' apostles? Question 6. Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, but what was the name of the other child they had that the Bible refers to? So Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, but what was the name of the other child that they had that the Bible refers to? Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, but what was the name of the other child they had that the Bible refers to? Okay. Question 7. Where did Jesus perform his first public miracle? Which town? Where did Jesus perform his first public miracle? Which town? So that's question 7. Where did Jesus perform his first public miracle? In which town? Question 8. Using 300 watt, Samson set the grain fields, vineyards and olive groves of the Philistines on fire. Using 300 watt, Samson set the grain fields, vineyards and olive groves of the Philistines on fire. So fill in the blank. Using 300 watt, Samson set the grain fields, vineyards and olive groves of the Philistines on fire. Using 300 watt, Samson set the grain fields, vineyards and olive groves of the Philistines on fire. Question 9. Before anointing David as the next king of Israel, who was the first son of Jesse that Samuel met and about whom he said, "Surely here before Jehovah stands his anointed one"? So question 9. Before anointing David as the next king of Israel, who was the first son of Jesse that Samuel met and about whom he said, "Surely here before Jehovah stands his anointed one"? So before anointing David as the next king of Israel, who was the first son of Jesse that Samuel met and about whom he said, "Surely here before Jehovah stands his anointed one"? Okay, so question 10, last question on Bible knowledge. Whose hair was said to have weighed 200 shekels when it was cut? Whose hair was said to have weighed 200 shekels when it was cut? I don't think mine will be that far off by the time I get out of quarantine. So last question for Bible knowledge, question 10. Whose hair was said to have weighed 200 shekels when it was cut? So whose hair was said to have weighed 200 shekels when it was cut? We all good? Are we ready to move on to the next round? If you need a question clarified or you miss one, just let me know. We're ready to move on? Right. Bible sport questions is a very niche subject. Cool, right. So the next round is a picture round. So obviously you need to be seeing what's on the screen in order to answer the questions. Tim's asked for question 2 again, sorry, let me just shoot back. Question 2, what would be the first book of the Bible if they were in alphabetical order? So not numerical order, not with the numbers first, but purely in alphabetical order. Which book would come first? Cool, right, round 3, all good? So, question 1 from round 3. Who am I? So who is that person on the left-hand side? Looking for full names, by the way. So who is that? If you've missed the question, I'll come back to it during the break. Just make a note of which one you want clarifying. So that was question 1 on the picture round. Question 2, who am I? He's got too much hair for James Woodford. So that's question 2. Question 3, who am I? I apologise to our viewers in the States. They may not know who this one is. Okay, so that's question 3. Question 4, who am I? It's very rude, James Woodford. It's question 4, who am I? Okay, that was question 4. Question 5, who am I? That last one was not me, Sam Fuller. Okay, so that was question 5 on the picture round. They were people. The next set of 5 questions in the picture round will be flags. So, question 6. Name the country or territory from the flag. Name the country or territory from the flag. This is a nod to Sheldon Cooper. We're having fun with flags. I'm just going to tell Beth to keep the noise down because I think she'll get picked up on the microphone in a minute. Beth, you're going to need to stop shouting. Okay, so that's question 6. Question 7. Name the country or territory from the flag. That's question 7. Name the country or territory from the flag. Question 8. Name the country or territory from the flag. Cool. So, ready for question 9? Question 9. Name the country or territory from the flag. I think there might be a few of you out there that know this. So that's question 9. Name the country or territory from the flag. Question 10, the last question of the picture round and the last question of this half of the quiz. Name the country or territory from the flag. Cool, well, just let me know when you guys are ready, and we'll go back through the first 3 rounds. I'll give you the answers so you can mark them up. We'll take a quick break, then we'll get started with the rest. None of the flags are related to Nando's or KFC. So just let me know when you're ready. If before we go into the answers, if there's any questions that you need clarifying, then let me know. There's no joke around. What's question 6 from the Bible round? I'll come back to the flags in 1 second. So Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, but what was the name of the other child they had that the Bible refers to? Sorry Eric, I can't help you with the picture round question 3. She is famous, but maybe not as famous as the others I put up. So, let's go back. Someone wanted, so these are the faces. Face number 1. Face number 2. Face number 3. Maybe she's a love child of Michael Jackson with that nose. Face number 4. And face number 5. And then someone has asked me to go back through the flags. So this is flag number 1. Bible knowledge number 9. Let me just shoot back. Before anointing David as the next king of Israel, who was the first son of Jesse that Samuel met, and about whom he said, "Surely here before Jehovah stands his anointed one"? Got that, Tim? So let's shoot back to the flags. So that's flag number 1. This is flag number 2. Flag number 3. Flag number 4. And flag number 5. So if we're ready, we'll move into the answers for general knowledge. Are we all good? Any more questions that need clarifying before I move on? Okay, so the first question in general knowledge was, how many sides does a heptadecagon have? That's 17. So how many sides has a heptadecagon got? That's 17. Question 2. What does the surname Singh mean when translated into English? It means lion. What does the surname Singh mean when translated into English? It means lion. Question 3. Who was President of the United States when Queen Elizabeth II was coronated? That was Harry S. Truman. Who was President of the United States when Queen Elizabeth II was coronated? That was Harry S. Truman. Question 4. In which decade was Donald Trump born? That was the 1940s. In which decade was Donald Trump born? That was the 1940s. Question 5. Which was the first product to be launched by Henry J. Heinz and L. Clarence Noble in 1869? That was horseradish. So which was the first product to be launched by Henry J. Heinz and L. Clarence Noble in 1869? That was horseradish. Question 6. The now abandoned Chernobyl nuclear power plant is within which modern day country? That's Ukraine, formerly the USSR. The now abandoned Chernobyl nuclear power plant is within which modern day country? That's Ukraine. Question 7. What is the official currency of China? That's renminbi. What is the official currency of China? Renminbi. Question 8. Well, before I move on, the other currency they do use is the yuan. That's not the official currency. So question 8. The internal angles of a triangle will always total how many degrees? That's 180 degrees. The internal angles of a triangle will always total how many degrees? That's 180 degrees. Question 9. From which language does the word futon originate? That's Japanese. From which language does the word futon originate? That's Japanese. Question 10, the last question for general knowledge. What name is given to a champagne bottle 4 times the size of a standard 750 milliliter bottle? That's Jeroboam. I think most people would say Nebuchadnezzar, but Nebuchadnezzar is bigger. And Nebuchadnezzar is 8 times the size, the standard size. So Geordie Boy, whose team name is Locked Down and Out, 8 out of 10. That's pretty good. The Sherlock, 6 out of 10. So next round was Bible knowledge, 7 out of 10. That's pretty good, Lauren. 5 out of 10 from Phil Manuela. 3 out of 10 James Woodford. 5 out of 10 from my friends across the pond. Ben Nunn, 5 out of 10. Abby Demetrius, 2 out of 10. You playing by yourself, Abby. Maybe you can bring it back in this round. So round 2, Bible knowledge. First question was, towards the end of his life, King David had a nurse and companion to care for him, described as beautiful in the extreme. What was her name? It was Abishag. So King David's nurse and companion, her name was Abishag. Chantel and Greg, 8 out of 10. Have they got Ollie on their team? Maybe that's why. So question 2. What would be the first book of the Bible if they were in alphabetical order? That's the book of Acts. So what would be the first book of the Bible if they were in alphabetical order? That's the book of Acts. Question 3. The book of Esther is unique because it does not mention which word. That's God, or in our translation, Jehovah. In the New World Translation, it would be Jehovah. So it's the only book in the Bible that doesn't mention the word God. I checked that yesterday as well. I read the entire book. Abishag Demetrius. So, question 4. How many years did Noah live for after the flood? That was 350. How many years did Noah live for after the flood? 350. How many years did Noah live for after the flood? 350 years. Question 5. Who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of Jesus' apostles? That was Matthias. Who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of Jesus' apostles? That was Matthias. Close, Frank. 359 was close. Proclaimer, 6 out of 10. Pretty good. Although we are on the second round. So, question 6. Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, but what was the name of the other child they had that the Bible refers to? That's Seth. From him came Noah. So Noah was one of his descendants. So Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, but what was the name of the other child they had that the Bible refers to? That's Seth. Question 7. Where did Jesus perform his first public miracle? That was in Cana, at the wedding, where he turned water into wine. Oh, Shan's told me to go quick, and now she wants me to go back. 2 to 4, so question 2 again. What would be the first book of the Bible if they were in alphabetical order? That's the book of Acts. Question 3, the book of Esther is unique because it does not mention which word. That's God or Jehovah. Question 4, how many years did Noah live for after the flood? 350 years. Question 5, who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of Jesus' apostles? That was Matthias. Question 6, Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, but what was the name of the other child they had that the Bible refers to? That was Seth. Question 7, where did Jesus perform his first public miracle? That was Cana. Question 8, using 300 watt, Samson set the grain fields, vineyards and olive groves of the Philistines on fire. He used foxes. Using 300 foxes, Samson set the grain fields, vineyards and olive groves of the Philistines on fire. The guy was hardcore. Question 9. Before anointing David as the next king of Israel, who was the first son of Jesse that Samuel met and about whom he said, surely here before Jehovah stands his anointed one? That's Eliab. So the first son of Jesse that Samuel met, that was Eliab. And the last question for Bible knowledge, question 10. Whose hair was said to have weighed 200 shekels when it was cut? That was Absalom, one of David's sons. Whose hair was said to have weighed 200 shekels when it was cut? Absalom. Cool. So, answers for the picture round. First question was, who am I? That's Walt Disney. Full names, please, as well. So that's question 1, who am I? Walt Disney. Question 2, who am I? Andy Warhol. So that's Andy Warhol. The guy that coined the phrase, everyone has 15 minutes of fame. The Campbell soup pictures, that's him. Question 3, who am I? That's Darcy Bussell. So she is a famous dancer and ballerina and a former judge on Strictly Come Dancing, or Dancing with the Stars if you're in the US. Woman with nose, yes. So that's Darcy Bussell. Question 4, who am I? That's Benito Mussolini. That's Benito Mussolini. Question 5, who am I? That's Anthony Daniels. And you Star Wars fans probably got that, as he played C-3PO. Anthony Daniels. I saw James's comment trying to throw people off by saying R2-D2. But Anthony Daniels, he played C-3PO. Okay, so the next half of picture round was flags. And the first flag was the flag of Mauritius. That is the flag of Mauritius. So question 7, that was the flag of Morocco. That's the flag of Morocco. The next question, question 8, and flag number 3, that was the Philippines. It's the flag of the Philippines. Question 9, that's the flag of Zimbabwe. And I know we have some Zimbabwean brothers playing, so I expect them to get that. So question 9, that was the flag of Zimbabwe. Question 10, the last one from picture round. That's the flag of Bermuda. That's the flag of Bermuda. Jaden Ferguson, sorry, missed the answers to questions 1 and 2 on the picture round. So, picture round question 1 was, who am I? That was Walt Disney. And the second one was Andy Warhol. I think Shan and Greg are using their friend G Google again for their answers. Beth has been describing the flags to her brother over the phone, and they got 6 out of 10. That's pretty well. That's pretty good going. Right. So do you want to take a break? Do you want to get a drink? I'm going to pour some more gin, and then I'll get started on the next round, which will be music. So let me know when you're ready. I'm just going to grab some ice. I'll be right back with you.
Where's the camera?
Well, there. Come to say hello.
It's delayed, isn't it? Much easier this week.
Had to dumb it down, didn't I, Beth?
I'm smashing it.
Yeah, if you think this is too easy, then let me know. Maybe there's a middle ground between last week and this week. Well, if James is saying it's much easier, then maybe I've made it too easy.
When Lara and Tony start doing well, that's when you know it's easy.
Still hard, is it, Mike? So just to give you a heads up, the next round is music, and it will involve pictures as well. So 5 of the questions will involve pictures. If you missed last week, Ollie, you can watch it back on YouTube if you're really that bothered. Not sure what your question is there, Jordan. Clarify, please. When you're all ready to go, then just stick ready in the chat.
Hang on, I want to do my toast.
When do you tell us our scores? Well, we can do a quick roundup now if you want. And just put your scores so far per team in the chat. Actually, I might make a note of them. Where's my pad?
Okay.
So I've got them. So Lauren, you were the Devon Dunces, I believe. And you've so far got 20 out of 30.
Sherlock's got 19.
Right. Ben Nunn, 19 out of 30. Lockdowns and out. 23 out of 30. Eric. 15 out of 30. Shan 22. Cliff, you're on Tim and Alison's team. Is that 10 out of 30 in total then, yeah? Okay. 10 out of 30. Yaps, 22 out of 30. Ollie Grayson, 13 out of 30. Phil Manny, 13. Sherlock's 19. Jaden Ferguson, 17. Okay, so you're with Ollie, Jay, okay. Woodford Wally's 13 out of 30. Is that everyone? Oh, team washing machine, 13 out of 30. Who's in your team, Mike Asamoah? Who's in team washing machine? You're going to need all his help then, Mike. So far, top place is Lockdowns and Out. That's Jordan's team, 23 out of 30. Yap Dynasty have got 22. Shan and Greg have got 22. And a few on 20s and 19s. Cool, so if we're ready, we'll move on to round 4, which is music. Just stick ready in the box. Frank's team, 15 out of 30. Cool, all right. We'll crack on with music. Question 1. Name the artist and song from this line. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do. So, artist and song, please. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do. That was question 1. Question 2. Name the artist and song. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Question 3. Name the artist and song from the line, "There must be some way out of here," said the Joker to the thief. Someone asked if there was a joke around earlier. Maybe this is the Joker question. So name the artist and song from the line, There must be some way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. So we need artist and song from all of these, please. There must be some way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. Question 4. Again, name the artist and song from the line. Like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. Like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. Like the legend of the phoenix, all ends with beginnings. Question 5. Again, name the artist and song from the line. Streets like a jungle, so call the police, following the herd down to Greece. Streets like a jungle, so call the police, following the herd down to Greece. So artist and song. Streets like a jungle, so call the police, following the herd down to Greece. So the first 5 questions were the artist and song from those lines. The next 5 will be album covers that have had the titles removed. So, question 6. Name the artist. I don't need the album title, I just need the artist from the cover image. So name the artist from the cover image. I don't think I'm allowed to play live music whilst I'm streaming, hence why I've not done the intros. So have a good look at the picture, name the artist from the cover image. Yeah, that is pretty much the full cover. All these pictures will be pretty much the full cover. The only thing that's missing obviously is the title of the album and the artist. If they're not the full images, I apologise, but that's the main take from the album cover. Cool, so question 7. Name the artist from the cover image. All good? So that's question 7. Question 8. So name the artist from the cover image. Okay. So, question 9. Name the artist from the cover image. And these albums are taken from a variety of different types of music to hopefully cover everyone's taste, and different decades of music as well. So name the artist from the cover image. Okay, so question 10. Name the artist from the cover image. This is the last question in music. So just need the artist. Okay, are we all ready to move on to the next round? If we are, just let me know. If not, if you need me to go back over an image again, just let me know. Three and five. Okay, so this is 5. Streets like a jungle, so call the police, following the herd down to Greece. So that was 5. Streets like a jungle, so call the police, following the herd down to Greece. And 3. There must be some way out of here, said the joker to the thief. There must be some way out of here, said the joker to the thief. Question 2. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Is that it for music? Is everyone happy? I will move on to the next round. Yeah, so round 5 is history. Okay, so first question for round 5, history. Who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the start of World War II? Who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the start of World War II? Who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the start of World War II? Cool. Question 2. What was Adolf Hitler's profession before he moved into politics? What was Adolf Hitler's profession before he moved into politics? So question 2, what was Adolf Hitler's profession before he moved into politics? Question 3. When did the United States of America gain independence from Britain? And I need the exact date, please, including the year. So when did the United States of America gain independence from Britain? And I need the exact date and year. I think most people will know the day and the month. And as a clue, this is Jordan's birthday. But I need the year. So when did the United States of America gain independence from Britain? I need the exact date. So question 4. From which country did Algeria gain independence in 1962? From which country did Algeria gain independence in 1962? Eric, if you're referring to question 3, I just want the generally accepted date that you guys got independence from us. The day that you celebrate it on, well, maybe not you personally, but the Americans, but specifically I need the year. So question 4, from which country did Algeria gain independence in 1962? So from which country did Algeria gain independence in 1962? Question 5. In which city was RMS Titanic constructed? In which city was RMS Titanic constructed? So question 5, in which city was RMS Titanic constructed? Beth, can you close the door? So in which city was RMS Titanic constructed? Question 6. What does RMS stand for in RMS Titanic? What does RMS stand for in RMS Titanic? So what does RMS stand for in RMS Titanic? Okay, so question 7. Name the president. Name the president. Have a good look. Question 8. Name the king. Name the king. Okay, so that's question 8. Name the king. Question 9. Who am I? I was born in Ulm in Germany in 1876. In 1895, I moved to Switzerland to study, and in 1921, I won the Nobel Prize for Physics. I emigrated to the USA in 1933. So who am I? I was born in Ulm in Germany in 1876. In 1895, I moved to Switzerland to study, and in 1921, I won the Nobel Prize for Physics. I emigrated to the USA in 1933. Again, I need full names for these. Okay, so question 10, the last question for history. Who am I? I am one of the greatest and most radical composers of all time. I was a tormented genius who went deaf in later life and never heard my final works. Should pay attention, Chantel. I'll come back to 4 or 5 in a minute. So question 10, who am I? I am one of the greatest and most radical composers of all time. I was a tormented genius who went deaf in later life and never heard my final works. Okay, so someone's asked for questions 4 and 5. 5 is, in which city was RMS Titanic constructed? So in which city was RMS Titanic constructed? 4 was, from which country did Algeria gain independence in 1962? Frank has asked for question 1. Who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the start of World War II? Who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the start of World War II? Okay, so if you're ready, I will move on to the next round. And the next round is film, the last round of the quiz. So some of these questions will involve pictures again. But question 1 for film is, name the film from the tagline. An adventure 65 million years in the making. So name the film from the tagline. An adventure 65 million years in the making. So I need a film from that tagline. Cool. So question 2. Name the film from the tagline. Every man dies, not every man really lives. Every man dies, not every man really lives. So name the film. So every man dies, not every man really lives. Question 3. Name the film from the tagline. The most beautiful love story ever told. The most beautiful love story ever told. So name the film from the line, the most beautiful love story ever told. Question 4. Name the film from the tagline, whoever saves one life saves the world entire. Whoever saves one life saves the world entire. NHS, very good answer, Phil. Not correct. So name the film from the tagline, whoever saves one life saves the world entire. Okay, so question 5. Name the film from the poster. So name the film from the poster. Tim, all those last taglines I mentioned are all from very famous films. A few even won some Oscars. So that's question 5. So name the film from the poster. Question 6. Name the film from the poster. Question 7. Name the film from the poster. Okay. Question 8. Name the film from the poster. Okay. So, question 9. Name the film from the poster. And I want the exact film name. If you've missed any, let me know at the end, I'll come back to them. Yeah, I want the exact film title. Okay. So, question 10, and the last question of the quiz. Name the film from the poster. Cool. Okay, so Chantel and Greg have asked for question 2 again, which is name the film from the tagline, "Every man dies, not every man really lives." So that's question 2. Every man dies, not every man really lives. Question 3. The most beautiful love story ever told. The most beautiful love story ever told. And then question 4. Whoever saves one life saves the world entire. Whoever saves one life saves the world entire. Just think of a film that's about saving lives. And someone's asked for 6. So name the film from this poster. Tim, did you get question 4? So question 6, name the film from the poster. And question 4, just in case you needed it again, whoever saves one life saves the world entire. Cool, okay. If everyone's happy, they've got what they need. There was no Marvel round. I don't know if that's a bit too specific. I'm tempted to do like a specialist quiz as a one-off, just on a particular subject, but let me know, give me some suggestions. I'm quite keen to get my idea of my take on Mastermind off the ground and call it Mediocre Mind. I'll probably use Zoom for that as well as YouTube, but get 4 contestants on, general knowledge rounds, and then their specialities, their special rounds, and then you can do different episodes and then have a final at some point. But yeah, let me know what you think. Marvel v Disney is a good one, although Disney does now own Marvel. Heroes and villains. What was question 8? That's question 8, so name the film. yeah, I want to do mediocre mind. So I'll think of a way of setting that up. I'll definitely use Zoom and probably stream it via YouTube so others can see it. So I'll just have four in the Zoom meeting plus me, and then I'll stream it via YouTube and you guys can watch. So if you want to take part, let me know. Okay, cool. Right. So are we all ready? I'm conscious of time, so let's should we start going through the answers? So these are the answers for music. So, question 1. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you and everything you do. That was Coldplay and Yellow. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you and everything you do. Coldplay, Yellow. Cool. Question 2. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. The Beatles, Let It Be. Probably the easiest one on here. So when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. The Beatles, Let It Be. Question 3. There must be some way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. That was Bob Dylan, All Along the Watchtower. I said it might be a Joker question because most people might have said Jimi Hendrix, but he covered it from Bob Dylan. So there must be some way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. Bob Dylan, All Along the Watchtower. Question 4. Like the legend of the Phoenix, all ends with beginnings. And that was Daft Punk, Get Lucky. Like the legend of the Phoenix, all ends with beginnings. Daft Punk, Get Lucky. Question 5. Streets like a jungle, so call the police. Following the herd down to Greece. That was Blur with Girls and Boys. Streets like a jungle, so call the police. Following the herd down to Greece. Blur with Girls and Boys. Question 6. That cover was from the Arctic Monkeys album Favourite Worst Nightmare. So I just needed the artist. That was Arctic Monkeys. That was Arctic Monkeys' Favourite Worst Nightmare. Question 7 was Fleetwood Mac with Rumours. Fleetwood Mac with Rumours. One of the best albums of all time, if you ask me. So Fleetwood Mac with Rumours. Someone's asking for half a point for the Jimi Hendrix, Bob Dylan. I don't know. Maybe I'll include that as my Joker. If you didn't get it, then sucks to be you. But okay, question 8. That was Beyonce with Lemonade. That's Beyonce with Lemonade. Question 9. Maybe one of the hardest ones. That was Stevie Wonder with Songs in the Key of Life. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. And question 10, the last question for music. That was Duran Duran with Rio. I expect most of you got that. Cool. So we then move on to history. And the first question for history was, who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the start of World War II? And that was Neville Chamberlain. So keep your scores for each round and then total them at the end, and I'll write them down. Who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the start of World War II? That was Neville Chamberlain. And then soon after the disastrous campaign in Norway, he resigned. And Winston Churchill took over. Cool. So question 2. What was Adolf Hitler's profession before he moved into politics? He was a failed artist or painter. I think someone in Beth's team put painter and decorator. I don't think he was around doing your wallpaper or painting your front room before he became a dictator. No, he was a failed artist or painter. Question 3. When did the United States of America gain independence from Britain? That was the 4th of July, 1776. So, United States of America gained independence from Britain on the 4th of July 1776. I expect our American friends got that. Question 4. From which country did Algeria gain independence in 1962? That was France. So Algeria gained independence in 1962 from France. Question 5. In which city was RMS Titanic constructed? And that was in Belfast. So in which city was RMS Titanic constructed? That was in Belfast. Cool. Before I move on to question 6, does anyone want to hazard a guess in the live chat as to what RMS stands for? So question 6, I've not moved on, but what does RMS stand for in RMS Titanic? Anyone hazard a guess? Yeah, a few people have got it. So question 6, what does RMS stand for in RMS Titanic? It's Royal Mail Ship or Royal Mail Steamer. Good. That's a really good guess, Jonathan and Sam. Really massive ship, really mega ship, but not quite right. Thanks for that, Joel. Question 7. Name the president. And that is Jimmy Carter. Name the president. That was Jimmy Carter. Question 8 was name the king. And that was Henry V. Joe was asking for a geography round. The picture round was almost a geography round. I mean, there was 5 flags on there. But again, if you've got suggestions for categories and if you want me to do another quiz, then let me know. More than happy to do something. So that's question 8 in history. Name the king, Henry V. Question 9. Who am I? I was born in Ulm in Germany in 1876. In 1895, I moved to Switzerland to study. And in 1921, I won the Nobel Prize for Physics. I emigrated to the USA in 1933. I am Albert Einstein. Cool. So question 10 on history. Who am I? I am one of the greatest and most radical composers of all time. I was a tormented genius who went deaf in later life and never heard my final works. I am Ludwig van Beethoven. So that was the last question for history, and that was Ludwig van Beethoven. Before I move on, does anyone need any questions verifying, clarifying? All good? Right. Last round, that was film. So the first question in film, an adventure 65 million years in the making, and that was Jurassic Park. Question 2, every man dies, not every man really lives, that was Braveheart. Every man dies, not every man really lives, that was Braveheart. Question 3, the most beautiful love story ever told, Beauty and the Beast. The most beautiful love story ever told, Beauty and the Beast. Okay. Question 4, whoever saves one life saves the world entire, that was Schindler's List. Whoever saves one life saves the world entire, Schindler's List. I think you're right, James. I think it is over. It's Joel's bedtime. It's way gone Joel's bedtime. Asia's let him stay up for a bit longer. Okay, cool. So question 5. Name the film from the poster. That's the Grand Budapest Hotel. That's Liam Neeson, Joel. So the Grand Budapest Hotel, question 5. Question 6, the film was Interstellar. The film was Interstellar. Question 7, that was The Last Action Hero. Classic 90s film. So question 7, The Last Action Hero. Question 8 was 127 hours. So 127 hours is a story of the climber that got trapped between two rocks for 127 hours and eventually cut his own arm off with a penknife. So question 9. That was Toy Story, but it was Toy Story 3. You're right, Ollie, 127 hours is a very long film. So that's Toy Story 3. And then before I go to question 10, the last question of the round and of the quiz, does anyone want to hazard a guess as to what question 10 was? Or is? The answer to question 10 is. My cousin just made me aware that the Interstellar poster looks very similar to the Super 8 poster, which it does, but it's not. So yeah, quite a few said it. It's Ready Player One. Question 10. So add up your scores from the last 3 rounds: music, history, and film, and I'll make a note. So I'll do it in the same order I took them before, if I can. Oh goodness. Andy O2 says, it is Ready Player One, but not the released version. We have the person who was on the design team for it in our team. Okay. Sorry. I don't know how I got hold of that image then. Some of these images, I work on behalf of Odeon, which is a UK cinema provider and part of AMC for using in the US. Some of these images I got from work, so that might be why I've got access to them. Cool. Okay, so Devon Dunces at halfway point had 20 out of 30. So 26 out of 30, okay. Ben Nunn, 39. Oh, that's your total, 39 out of 60, okay. Jordan, looking for Jordan. 48 out of 60. Eric's team. I've just missed Eric. Eric, stick your score back in, please. I've missed it on the group. Jonathan Ely, 32 out of 60. Chantel and Greg. So you got 21 out of 30 on that round. So 43 in total. Cliff and Tim and Alison, 25 out of 60 on that round. Oh, sorry, in total, 25 out of 60. The Yap Dynasty, my dad's gone quiet, 41 out of 60. Ollie's team, Ollie and Jason, 31 out of 60 in total. Phil Manuela, where are you? Oh, Eric's 35 out of 60, Eric's team. Still haven't got one. Oh, Phil Manuela, 28 out of 60. The Sherlocks. Sherlocks, can you put your score in, please? Jaden Ferguson. Jaden. Missed. If you've put it in already, I might have missed it, Jaden. Please put it back in. Woodford Wallies. What score have we got, Woodford? Frank, 34. So I'm missing scores for the Sherlocks. Jaden, 29. Thank you. So I can have scores for Sherlocks, the Washing Machine, and Ben Turner. Woodford Wallies, 28. Thank you. $36 out of 60. Thanks, Mike. The Sherlock's 38 out of 60. And Ben Turner. It's the only one I'm missing. But let's do the top three, shall we? Okay. I just noticed that as well. In that poster, his leg is way too long. That's why it got rejected. Good knowledge. Cool. Okay, so in reverse order, I'll just do it in top three places. I'm not going to go for every team, but in third place was the Yaps Dynasty. So that's my dad and his team. They had 41 out of 60. In second place were the Devon Dunces with 46 out of 60. But in first place, and their first time in this quiz, that was the Lockdowns and Out, Jordan's team, with 48 out of 60. So very well done. Cool. Oh, someone got 43. Sorry. Sorry. Yes, you did. I didn't add it up. So yeah. So that changes it in terms of you came third, Shan's team. That knocks Yap Dynasty down to fourth place. Yeah, I wouldn't believe my dad either. So you're either third or fourth. Cool. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed already, then well, do if you want me to do another one. If you subscribe, that'll give me an indication of how many people are interested in another quiz. I can continue to do them for as long as lockdown continues, which looks like it might be another couple of, or at least 3 weeks. Okay, what can I give as a prize? Bear with me 1 minute.
Please don't give away any of my stuff.
Sorry about that. Well, for this week it was Jordan's team. I don't know how many people are in your team, Jordan, but I can only give you 4. But you can have 4 free cinema tickets. I know the cinemas aren't open, but I'll give you 4 free cinema tickets for when the cinema does reopen. I'll get them to you somehow. But yeah, I'll do another prize, maybe next week, maybe not, I'm not sure. But if you can give me some suggestions on categories that you want or subjects, then I'll try and include it.
Here's your prize.
That was Spencer in a basket. No, Odeon aren't the sponsor of this. Yeah, work freebies, exactly. Not that you can use them right now, but when they do reopen, I'll make sure you get them. I hope you didn't cheat, Jordan. I don't think you would. I hope you're joking. So boilers, I'm not going to do. Physics, no. Bible sports is too niche. Reggae, I can include some reggae in a music round. I think someone asked last week for science. Maybe I can do a science round. That's what people want. Food and drink, I think I'll definitely do. I think that's maybe overdue. Anagrams is a good suggestion. I did one anagram last week, you've already asked me that. Not on off conversions. Literature. Literature I could do. Yeah, literature, okay. I'll have a look at literature. So maybe food and drink as well. Are you smarter than the 12-year-old round? That's very good. Actually, I like that. Yeah. Logos I could do. Good suggestion, Roz. A lot of people, okay, Roz is constantly saying logos. Yeah, got the point. Okay. Logos I can do. Art, Joel, art, really? I didn't know you was an art connoisseur. I'm not going to do comic book covers. Google feuds. Convention titles for the years would be a good one. Someone else has mentioned Marvel. Is Marvel a bit too niche? Maybe I could just do the film round completely on Marvel next week. Whiskey, I'd love to. My next favourite drink to gin. Okay, so food and drink, logos, maybe literature, and maybe Marvel, so the film round. Do you want a return of sport? Were people happy not to have sport included, or would you like to have it back? Likewise, Mo, what do you mean by culture? Surely a lot of these questions are culture. Car badges, maybe. Some are saying yes to sport, some are saying no. History of LFC, that's a quick one, not much of it. Hitler's henchman, someone's been watching History Channel too much. Fruit or vegetable, Yeah, I could mix up sport and science, I suppose, in one round. History of Bournemouth, not much to say there. People go there to die. Cars, again, it's a bit too niche, maybe. Motorsport, a few people have asked that. Maybe I'll do a specialist quiz on cars and motorsport. So people that want to can tune in. Cool. What you can do is, even after this is stopped streaming, the video will still be on YouTube, but underneath you can leave as many comments as you want. So if you've got suggestions for next week, I'll review them through the week. Just leave them in there. I'll have a look. But again, if you've got people that you want to take part next week that haven't, please feel free to share the channel link with them. And we'll get as many people in as possible. Cool. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it was a little bit easier than last week's quiz. If you think it was a bit too easy, then maybe I can find some kind of middle ground between the two. Yeah, cool. All right, well, thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully see you again next Sunday, 8 p.m. Take care.